Hey, what's up everybody? It's Marcus. In today's video we're going to get into something really interesting. It's this new thing that I picked up. It's called the Laser Cube, made by Wicked Lasers, and you can use it to make some epic photography. It takes a little bit of practice, and it takes some safety precautions for human eyes and also camera sensors, but I'm going to show you in this video how I like to use it and what you can expect outcome wise if you follow these tips. And please go to ProPhotoEdits.com where you can download my Lightroom presets and Photoshop actions. Every image that you've seen me upload here on YouTube and on my website, on my Instagram, has been edited with these presets and my Lightroom actions. I want to let you guys know that my course is up right now. It's my creative lighting course and photo editing course. So this is like a bundle. You're going to learn how I do all my creative lighting in studio. Every piece of gear that I use, I break it down to why I choose the colors that I choose. Every single thing. No stone is left unturned. And then we're going to hop into Lightroom. You get my Lightroom presets for each file. There's 6 in there right now. There's going to be 12 by the end of the year. Then we'll hop into Photoshop and I give you screen recordings of me editing each one of these shots, so I can show you how to really up your game on both sides, shooting and editing. And I also just uploaded 2 new courses. This is the light bending technique that you've seen on my Instagram. Go check my Instagram out, I'll link it. And this is all done in camera with minimal gear, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. And I also just finished uploading the complete and partial silhouettes that you're looking at right now. This is totally different than how you expect it to be done, and it's not very expensive to do it also. I also just finished uploading this user request video, how I stretch to get around the Instagram crop and how I export things to give them extra pop for social media. So that's in there now too. Okay, so who is Wicked Lasers and what is a laser cube? Wicked Lasers is a company and they make these things called laser cubes. Now these are high powered lasers. They use them for DJing and stuff like that. A lot of people do, and parties, weddings, stuff like that. You can use it for whatever you want, obviously. They make a 1.2 watt, a 2.5 watt, and then a 2.5 watt with some extra bells and whistles for people who like to use them for light shows. But I initially bought the 1.2 and it wasn't strong enough for what I like to do, so I bought the 2.5 without the bells and whistles, the one that you're looking at right now. And I actually got this from a US dealer, and it was a Hollywood DJ, but there's a lot of US dealers that have these. Okay, so let's get some safety stuff out of the way. You never want to have this hit anybody directly in the eye, ever. And you never want to have it hit your sensor on your camera, ever. How do you avoid that? There's several ways to do that. I shoot top down a lot, so I have this mounted on a boom arm, and it's shooting top down, so it can never really hit the person in the eye unless they look up. You never have the person look up unless they're wearing safety goggles, and even then I just eyes closed, even with the proper goggles on. And don't buy just random goggles off of Amazon. Buy the ones that are actually for this specific wavelength for each of the colors. It's kind of an ordeal to find them, but you can find them online if you talk to a goggles dealer for lasers and give them your specifications. Say, this is what I need to block all this, but still, just stay out of the way. So with your sensor, you need to keep it protected as well. So you never want to let any of these beams hit your actual sensor. So that just means you can actually see where the beams are going around her at all times. You never want to get any closer than that. I shoot most of these with a 50 that keeps me far enough away back. You can use an 85 if you want, but I found a 50 to be best. I've even got some shots with a 35 and got a little bit closer. You can see where the beams are, so you don't actually walk into it. Okay, so how to pull off a successful shoot with this. Let me walk you through some pitfalls real quick. Get the room as dark as you possibly can. I have ambient light coming through the top of this room that I'm in right now. My new room won't be like that. So even at nighttime, I still have a little light coming over that wall. Get as dark as you can. I have 2 LEDs and a smoke machine. If you can, get a hazer. It's better than a smoke machine. So you see we have smoke in the air right here, top down with the laser, and on my right hand side I have an LED that is going to do a different color than what the laser cube is doing. So a laser cube, I just have a certain pattern. I don't care about the pattern, I just want it to stick to one space. Remember how we talked about earlier, I don't want it to escape in that area. So this is as wide as this pattern gets, and the laser cube's up on a boom arm right now. And so if it's purple, then I want my lighting on her to be blue, corresponding colors that you really like. So that way it won't be blue and blue, or purple and purple, or green and red, Christmas colors. You want colors that work well together. So I have her lit blue, and then I have the purple coming down from the laser cube, so it's kind of like a perfect match. So just to give you an example of that, there's a blue beams coming down from the laser cube. I have her on the floor, and then I have the purple LED behind her, just barely lighting the back side of her face. And all that blue light on her face is from the laser cube. It puts off a lot of light. So any other color you want in the frame needs to be something that is, you know, a complementary color of that. So blue and purple works well together in this particular shot. So another cool thing you can do is you can have the laser cube behind the person, not shooting top down, but shooting out. And you can just go into the app and draw like a straight line down, or find just a shape that's just a straight up and down shape. Alright, so now in between you and your subject, there's just a wall of laser, and it's not going to hit you, it's not going to hit them, it's just facing one direction in front of you both, like a wall. Okay, so the reason why you can actually see the laser is there's smoke in the air. Okay, so one wide shape will actually make like a wall of light, and it's really cool because then what you can do is you can put stuff in between you and them, their fingers, right? They can stick their hand out between the laser, and it'll make, you know, areas of, you know, places where you can actually see through the foggy light. So it becomes cool, and you can get shots like this. So there's really not much going on in this shot, but it's really cool. She's just blocking the light with her hand, as you saw before, just like a bluish type of beam coming out, smoke in the air, and you want to block it to, you can actually see the subject's face. Block it with their hand, with their arm, whatever you have, and then light them from the side with the complementary color, like a purple or something like this, and it'll work out for you. So I'm gonna give you a few more examples of ideas here. You can make one solid beam, and we got like 3 or 4 different shots with this type of style. Do not stare directly into the beam if you're holding it, you know, doing this type of angle where it's hitting you in the hand. Do not stare at it. Any type of focused light like that, if you stare into it, it can burn your retina. You don't want that to happen, trust me. So keep your eyes closed, look in a different direction. Just, you know, don't stare at the hot spot like she has on her finger right there. So in this shot, and I'll show you these both in a second, I'm just putting a bunch of smoke in the air, and we're putting one finger up, and I'll show you this shot. It kind of like, as you start to snap, the laser will disappear a little bit because of your shutter speed, and it'll come back in. I'm changing the actual colors and giving her some advice on what she should do with her finger right here, and then I'll show you these 2 different examples. You can see when the smoke hits the beam how it really comes to light, and you can see at also how much light it's actually putting onto her face, right? So you don't need a ton of light like we talked about. You just barely need any type of extra light if the beam is that close to your person. So what else can you do with the laser cube? Well, you can do a lot. I'll show you some examples here. You just really have to experiment. Put a lot of smoke in the air. You can have 2 beams coming down like this, one on each side. Hold them in your hands. You can have a direct like tunnel around the person. She's inside of the tunnel right now, but the smoke's behind her, and I'm lighting her from one side with an LED, purple, and then complementary blue. I like to stick to those colors. I think they're very pretty. Right here, I have 2 beams coming down. I have her in the middle. That creates depth. Her arms are coming down out of the sides. 2 colors on each side. I borrowed this idea from a popular photographer online who had 2 cubes. I only have one, so I had to Photoshop the other one in. Direct down beams with a bunch of smoke, and she has her protective goggles on. There's a lot you can do with this cube. I'm just now getting started, and it's just giving me different, you know, I'm always into creative lighting. Anything I can do to find a new way to get creative. I was hitting kind of like a roadblock and just getting bored of the same thing. So I'm glad that I found this online, and I'm looking forward to, you know, implementing this in future shoots as I do things in my new studio I'm having built. So make sure you guys sign up for my online course. This is really a great way to get into creative lighting. I'm just using stuff that I'm sure everybody has, and very cheap and inexpensive modifiers, and just certain things that I found out over the years to keep things creative, and that's shooting, editing, lighting, the whole entire bit. You get raw files, you edit it right along with me after we get the shot. So I hope to see you there. It's Marcus. Love you guys.